Well, greetings, fellow flat earthers and those who don't yet realise it. Um, this is a bit of a prelude to the debate I'll be doing shortly in about 105 minutes or so on modern day debate. And I thought I'd just use this as a quick introduction to those who don't yet realise why the horizon always rises to eye level. It's as simple as a brick wall. So allow me to demonstrate. If I keep my camera at eye level and have a look down the brick wall, you will see one line of bricks is level. Camera mustn't be at eye level. It's where is the camera? Anyway, in the middle of the frame, you will see one line of those bricks is level. The one above it converges downwards, the one below it converges upwards. And the higher you go, those angles get steeper and steeper. And the ones beneath also get steeper, pointing upwards. Now the magical part about perspective is, trying to use a camera, is as you move the camera up, the parallel horizontal line moves with the camera, and the lines of convergence stay exactly the same around the horizontal line. Only one line is ever horizontal. In this case, it's the one at camera level, and it will move as you change height. So viewing height is everything when it comes to perspective and the laws of convergence. That is why the horizon will always 100% be at eye level, even though you may be at great altitude, high on a mountain, looking out at water, which you know is hundreds, if not thousands of feet beneath you. That's a law of convergence, the important part of perspective that people don't realise. That brick wall convergence exists whether there's a brick wall there or not. So just because you can't see parallel lines, I'll move out here so you can have a close look at this brick wall, there's no magic involved there. All those lines are parallel. But the law of convergence, when you're looking in the distance, makes them converge towards the center point, the horizon, where the word horizontal comes from. So now you know why perspective can be a tricky little bitch for people to understand, and why you use a theodolite, something on a level, to actually show true level. And it will always show that little gap above the horizon, which people say proves that the horizon isn't at eye level, that the horizon drops. No. That line the theodolite is showing is your height, and that distance between you and that line and the horizon is what your actual height would look like at the actual distance where that horizon comes to a convergence point. So the higher up you are, the further you see. It's all pretty straightforward. That gap will appear slightly bigger. However, it never gets hugely bigger. Where was I going to go with this? That's correct. So back to the wall for one more second. People like to think simple geometry will answer the calculations of distances. However, you can see that the law of convergence makes that physically impossible. Because what happens, even though you know in reality that the water is way beneath you and that your height is perpendicular to the ground, and so that right angle of a triangle should exist at the bottom of the triangle. But that's the problem. That's the paradox of perspective, is what actually happens is the right angle of a visual triangle is always at the eyes or the camera level. So when you draw a triangle to that convergence point and back again, the hypotenuse becomes the flat level ground beneath you, which is a contradiction in terms. But the reason that becomes the hypotenuse is that the convergence point is still, it's a tiny point like the head of the triangle, but that point is also a line just as high as the distance between you and the flat level, water level beneath you. So if your mountain is 5,000 feet above sea level, that point, that singular point, is also 5,000 feet high, converged into a singularity. That is why perspective is such a bitch, because you can't use simple geometry. You're basically using a triangle to measure a rectangle. So, hence, the horizon is always at eye level, because that is what horizontal means. That is what the horizontal line on the brick wall is showing you. Horizon, horizontal, flat and level, convergence to the point of parallel lines. And because out in the open air, your brick wall line is the solid ground, everything above it converging down is through the air, so you can see through it. So if a tall object is beyond the convergence point, you'll see the top of it, while the bottom is obscured by the physical stuff you cannot see through. I'll see you on the debate.